What are the reasons why a husband will ignore his wife? This is a very important topic, ladies, because I know that you're feeling down. I know that you don't know how to react. It is completely understandable for you. You love your husband. You want to create an amazing relationship. You want them back. But the problem is that they are ignoring you. What is going on and what are the solutions? I decided to do this video with Coach Adrian. How are you doing, Coach Adrian?
Very good. Thank you for having me. I'm excited to dive into this topic.
Yeah, I knew I had to do this topic, and I told myself I want to do it with you because there is a lot of challenges when you're a wife and you love your husband. And we know that sometimes there is some codependency, there is a lot of history, there is kids, there is assets in common. How can we manage this situation, first of all, with our emotions? What advice can you give to the ladies that will watch this video?
First and foremost, I empathize because we want to be able to feel safe and secure and feel validated by the person that we love. And the reality is that relationships can be very challenging. Marriage life can have its ups and downs, and it can be very, very challenging. And it pains me when I coach women who feel unseen in their relationship or their marriage, or even worse, when they get completely ghosted by the person that they love. And so I have seen many different types of outcomes, as well as the reasons why people get ignored in marriages. And one of them, of course, is when individuals stop to nurture the marriage or the relationship itself. And it's very easy to get complacent, to start to coast, to take your partner for granted. And before you know it, you are almost like roommates or two people who share, assets, or who just are parenting. And you forget to nurture the love. You forget to do fun things together. You forget to bring about that joy and that excitement that helps to nurture and fuel the fire. And so people fall apart. And it can become very challenging because it becomes the game of push and pull. When one person takes a step towards the other backs away, and vice versa. Before you realize, one day you wake up, years have passed, and you feel completely disconnected from the person that you love. And so the first piece of advice is to make sure that you nurture your relationship and your marriage. And if you're already at this point where the relationship and the marriage have broken down, don't overdo it. Don't start to chase and to start to throw yourself at your husband to try to get their attention and their validation, because it's going to push them away even further.
Exactly, Coach Adrian. And this is something that you need to realize, because sometimes you want to do good, but you're doing mistakes because you don't understand his psychology, you don't understand his behavior. Usually, I would say that a husband that will ignore his wife is because he doesn't want to talk. And so I've seen so many women asking a lot of questions. Do you love me? What is going on? I see that you're not feeling well. Why don't you talk to me? Even when you're not together and it's your ex-husband, you will continue to ask a lot of questions because you want to do good, because you want to nurture the love. But sometimes by doing this, you also appear to be harassing him. And so that's why he will step away and he will start to not respond to you, to ignore you, sometimes as well to ghost you. So rule number one, I will ask you and recommend you to not ask questions. I will ask you and recommend you to not try to communicate with him, because the more you try to do things, the more you will push him away. That would be my recommendation.
It's true that sometimes men and women communicate differently. Men tend to internalize a lot more and have a lot harder time expressing their feelings and their emotions, whereas women can be more communicative and a lot more generous when it comes to sharing what they're feeling. And it can create a disconnect, and we don't want to push. And usually what I provide as guidance and advice when someone reaches out to me in a coaching session is to say, first and foremost, stop and detach. Let's observe the dynamic. Let's keep this man on his toes. Let's make him miss you and make him invest in reconnecting with you. Now, this is also something that needs to be said. Very often, A man can start ignoring you when they have other romantic interests, when their attention is geared towards another woman. Not all men cheat, thank God. But I have seen in coaching sessions that women start to feel their men pulling away as that same man is engaging in some sort of connection, emotionally, physically, with someone else. So it's important for you not to feed into your fears and your insecurities, but to make sure that you are also aware that this is a common dynamic.
And also that at this moment, you need to make sure that you reverse the challenge and the relationship, the balance of power. That's what I say usually. Because when a guy is ignoring you, he's thinking that you will come back. He's thinking that you will communicate again. He's thinking that you will make the first step. So he's pretty confident. And so our goal with this video, with everything that we do at Love Advice TV, and thank you so much for liking this video, subscribing as well. If you are listening on the podcast platform, make sure to join this community because we decided to offer you as much content as possible. And so when you see your husband ignoring you and maybe engaging communication with one or multiple women, you need to realize that he lost interest. And me, as a relationship coach, I am not scared of this because men can regain interest very fast when you do the right actions. The question is, will you be able to use the push and pull technique, the reverse psychology, the no contact? Will you be able to put yourself first and not let the emotion get the best of you, or not let your love for him continue to make you make mistake? So what are the action, Coach Adrian, that we can do when we want to use the push and pull? What are the action that the ladies that will listen to this video can do to get attention from their husband?
Yeah, first and foremost, I don't want you to isolate yourself or to really sink into despair, vulnerability, and desperation, and to start to isolate yourself from the world. You want to be social. You want to give yourself as many opportunities as you can to dress up. You want to make sure that you're in a positive dynamic, that you're smiling, and that you kind of break the routine. You don't want to continuously, be home waiting for this person. You want to make plans for yourself and do things that you actually enjoy so that we can shock this person into realizing, hey, what am I missing out on here? And how come this person is so happy, joyful, busy without me? I think that this is a very good way to radically change the dynamic very quickly by focusing on things that actually are within your control and things that can bring you also a sense of empowerment and confidence and well-being, because you're no longer depending on this man to look at you a certain way or to suggest doing certain things or to just talk to you when they feel like it.
And usually what I see, Coach Adrian, is that a guy would ignore you when you stop doing things for yourself. Maybe you stopped going out with your friends. Maybe you stopped going out for your hobby that you love to do. Maybe you started to become maybe more mother, or just focus on him and trying to make it good for him. And it's insane because the more you do that, the less results you get, meaning the less attention you get, the less respect you get sometimes, the less communication you get as well. So maybe just make a list of 5 things that you stopped or 5 things that you put on the side just because you were married or in a relationship. By doing these things, you will allow yourself to regain some positive energy. You will allow yourself as well to do things that you love, to put yourself first. On the other side, I will always ask the women I coach to do one new activity every week. Could be a cooking class, could be a dance lessons class, it could be to do some yoga, it could be to just paint, but I want you to do things that you have never done before. And the reason why we do new things, it's because this is what makes men react. If you want him to communicate, if you want him to value you, he needs to see that you're happier than him. That is really the philosophy that I will allow you, that will advise you to implement right now, because men, we love to be in control. So when we have the control, we can ignore you for days and weeks We don't care. But the moment we realize that you're happier than us or with us as well, that's when we come back to regain some attention. So doing new things plus doing things that you just put on the side, this is the solution. Actions, actions. And you will see that in a couple of weeks, this guy that was ignoring you will be the one chasing.
I think that this is the most important element of this video, to be honest, or of this podcast. This cannot stay on the level of theory. You need to act. You need to take steps in your day-to-day in order to see results. It may not happen overnight, but you will see that the more you take action, the more empowered you will feel, and the quicker this dynamic will change, the more likely this man is to start to chase you and to start to value you the way that you deserve to be valued.
And it is possible. Okay, so the first thing first is to take a good breath, to do this list, to do the new activities, and you will get results in 4 to 6 weeks usually. Sometimes it can come sooner, sometimes it takes 6 weeks, but you will find out that this guy will look at your social media, this guy will try to communicate with you, this guy will ask you a question, and don't give him all the attention. Don't give him all the answers. You need to be okay with doing the push and pull. That makes me think about a masterclass that I just did called Make Him Come Back. It was an amazing moment that I just did, and I gave you 1 hour and 15 minutes of free content on how to reverse the situation. So if you want to learn more about the philosophy of making him come back and just reversing the situation, I've attached the replay, the recording, just in the description box right below. Go for it, ladies, because this one will just, I have the time to really explain the philosophy step to step with actions. So you will learn a lot. You can smash the like button, subscribe on YouTube, any podcast platform, but look in the description because you have access to a recording. It's 1 hour and 15 minutes of free content on getting and being a challenge.
You will love it. Please take advantage of all of the resources that are at your disposal to continue to learn, to continue to grow, to continue to feel more empowered, and to continue to fight the good fight.
We will see you very, very soon, ladies. The last piece of advice that I wanted to tell you is try to not communicate to everyone about your situation. Because when your husband is ignoring you, you want to tell everyone about it. First of all, they will all be mad if you come back together. So be careful with that.
Yes.
And also because you don't want to put your subconscious mind only focus on him, right? So that will be the last piece of advice for you to take away and keep fighting the good fight. Stay strong, but join the movement. Come on Love Advice TV. We are helping you fighting the codependency, being more confident, saving your relationship, understanding your husband, but also making you happy in your personal life. That's what we do every day. And we will see you very soon, but you can also finish the journey with myexagain.com. This is our website. There is tons of articles. There is a new design as well. And you can book a private coaching session with Coach Adrian, with myself. Let's chat. Let's talk. Let's find solutions together. We'll see you soon, ladies. Take good care.
Take good care.
Bye.